In this step, we're going to talk about the deviation. What is the deviation? To find the deviation of a data value, you're going to find the mean of the data, either the population or the sample. Then you're going to take that single value, find the difference between single value and the mean. That distance is called the deviation from that single x value and the mean or the data that you have, the center of the data that you have. Why we are interested in finding the deviation? When you're finding the deviation, basically it helps you to calculate population variance. The formula for population variance is sigma squared equals to the summation of the deviation between each value and the mean raised to the second power divided by n. So population variance has n on its denominator. Why we are finding the variance? When you're finding the variance, you're interested in calculating the standard deviation. The standard deviation of population is denoted by sigma, which is equal to square root of sigma squared, or the square root of this large formula that you see here. So you calculate the variance, you take the square root of the variance to find the population standard deviation. It says on average, what's the distance between the data to the mean? You can easily compare the sample and population using this nice table. When you have a standard deviation for a sample, you're going to represent that by S. For population and standard deviation, you're going to use sigma, everybody. The variance of a sample is S squared, and the population variance is sigma squared. We use data points like x sub I. The average for sample is x bar, and the average for population is mu. The total data set number in sample is denoted by small n, and for population is denoted by capital N. So when you're calculating the standard deviation, on the denominator for your sample, you have to do a little bit of subtraction. It is n minus 1, but for population, it stays at n. So that's a difference between sample and population notation, and how do we calculate the standard deviation and the variance.